Good morning, everybody. So this week we're going to be focusing on quest stories, and the link is below for YouTube. Then you're going to be working through sequencing the story. On a couple of PDFs down, we've got all the sections of the story in an alphabetical order, but they've all been jumbled up. So your activity, first of all, is to put them into the correct order so you've got a clear storyboard of all of the story. Then there's some extra activities here explained, colouring in the card where you think the middle part of the story starts and colouring the card where you think the end section of the story begins. Then you're going to be moving on to what you think the characters are thinking. And below we jump down here, we've got an image and you've got your two characters on this page. Then we've given you two thought bubbles and we'd like you to think about what a thought for each of the characters at this point in the story. Then, moving on today, you're going to be having a go at writing your own quest story. Remembering that in a quest story, characters tend to be going out, seeking for something, going to find something, going on a journey with a beginning, a middle and end. And often in these stories, there is a little bit of a moral. The characters find something out about themselves along the way that might affect their decisions that they make or the things that they get up to. Now I've put together a little example of the beginning of a quest story. And I was thinking about some stories that we've looked at across year 2, and I want you to see if you can guess some of the ones that I've used. Now my quest story is going to be about two little boys seeking some crops. So we're going to start with the beginning of my story. It was a glorious summer morning and the sun was shining like a diamond in a clear sky. Two young boys called Henry and Marco were playing in fields that were covered in a blanket of crops. All of a sudden, the sky turned black and thunder struck. Can you remember what story that was from? The heavy rain came pouring, but this was not ordinary rain. As quick as a flash, the crops began to disappear. "What has happened to them?" asked Henry. "Our father will be devastated," replied Marco. The two boys ran as fast as lightning and they found their father crying. They knew that if the crops had disappeared, the village would have no food. Henry knew what they had to do. They had to travel to a land east of the moon and south of the sun. Now that part's from another story. Can you remember which story we did just by Christmas? They set off early the following day, but as they began walking through the forest, they came across an almighty bear. Now this is similar to another theme that we looked at in our stories in the autumn term. Now, I've put a couple of colour highlights in this writing this morning. I've used red for adjectives and descriptions, and some of those include similes. I've used blue for some time markers that I've started to use. And I've included green for some dialogue. And I've remembered to start a new live for new speakers. I've remembered to cup my speech in the speech marks. And I haven't just used said. I've used some different synonyms such as asked, replied. I could have used questioned. I could have said cried. There's lots of different words that I could have used. Now, I was really struggling this morning to think of some ideas for stories. So I was a little bit naughty and I've pinched lots of ideas from stories that we've looked at before. And this is something that you might like to do. You might like to take little pieces of different stories that you've used before and take those ideas and put them into your beginning, middle and end. You can take little pieces from different ones, or you might have your completely own idea for your quest story this morning. I'd like you to use lovely neat handwriting, a range of vocabulary. We've been looking at adjectives, adverbs, we've been looking at nouns last week. We've been using speech and I've left the PowerPoint on for the help for speech if you need any more support. And if you can see, I've also started to split my work into some paragraphs. So thinking about that clear beginning, middle and end. Your quest story can be about whatever you like as long as it follows the theme. Okay, so you need your characters, you're going out searching for something, you're on a mission, and you might find something out about yourself along the way or something that changes your direction or the action of your characters. Good luck everybody, and I can't wait to read your stories. Well done.